All right, guys, what up? It is Matt with Sith Bricks, and we got another live build here for you today. First of all, my brain was not working at all today. For some reason, I thought I had built bag 21 yesterday. I didn't. I built bag 20. But in the video, I kept calling it bag 22, thinking it was bag 21, but in reality, it was bag 20. So I'm going to go back and fix the video, first of all, to fix my dumbness. I don't know the way to put it. Maybe I didn't have enough coffee. I don't know what happened. So I have got a special treat for you today. I'm not only doing bags 21, but I'm going to do bag 22 as well. There was a total of 5 bags between the two of them. So besides the fact that I can't count, I mean, I am a retired Marine. So once I run out of fingers and toes, I'm in trouble. But it just turned out that it's actually going to work out well, I think, to be able to do both bags during this live stream. So thanks for those of you that have joined, and those that are going to join. We'll see you soon, but I'm going to drink my coffee and get going because I need my coffee. All right, so here we go. Let's see. Hot coffee. Micah? Yeah. No. Still don't got anybody, but that's okay. Not too worried about that. This is just for fun. I even decided to wear my special shirt today. So figured why not? I haven't busted it out in a while. He is the best character in all of Star Wars, so I figured why not? Okay, Micah, I don't have anybody on my stream right now, but one more outburst and you're off the computer. Do you understand? This is good coffee. I do love me some coffee. For those that are going to rewatch and see this part, I buy my coffee from a family in Colorado who was born in Russia but immigrated to Colorado back in the early 80s and set up a coffee shop roasting traditional Russian coffee, and it's been my absolute favorite ever since. And so these are good people. These are the kind of people that, love America first. They understand, stand where they come from. I saw this great message on their website talking about the thing going on in Ukraine. And if you guys feel like patronizing a really good coffee company from Colorado, it's called Dazbog, Dazbog. These guys are great. They make some of the best coffee there is, and it's really reasonably priced. I'd rather pay for this than for, Starbucks or Dunkin' or any of that other stuff. Dazbog Coffee. Check them out. And I apologize for the wind in the background. Actually, I don't apologize. It's keeping my house nice and cool. But it is a windy day here where I'm at in beautiful Delaware. And so just be aware that you're going to hear that when I'm working. Already made a mistake. Okay, let's try this again. This is a real tricky part right here because it wants me to lay like 5 Legos flat and then put it together, and just really wasn't working all that well. So I decided to pick it up and try to piecemeal it in. Okay, and of course I did something wrong. Try this again. Okay. Okay, so now there's something actually wrong right here with this one. So I'm on step 1258 on bag 22 or 21. I'm telling you right now, 1258 is not right because the way it describes it is not matching up properly. So I don't know how this is going to go. And unfortunately, it's buried to the point where I can't see it because it says for the piece to be, so it's saying for this piece to be right here, but actually the manual says it needs to be one more spot over. So I'm going to sit here and try to figure this out for a second, but I think I found a mistake on it here. Okay, those two should be there. See, I can't really tell here, guys. There's a funky error to this one right now. And so I'm going to take a second here, have some of my go juice, and then try to figure this out. Let me see if it flips it over at one point. I normally don't like skipping ahead like this, but of course not. We'll figure. Okay. All right, so I'm going to leave this how I put it together here. I'm going to leave this piece in place here instead of moving it over. And it actually shows that these two pieces should be over one spot too, and there should be a gap here. I don't know if that's correct or not. It doesn't look like it. It looks like it should all be together. So I'm just going to leave it like this. But just be forewarned, 1258 could be tricky on the Eclipse. Step 1258. Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for joining us. You're the only one right now. Welcome to the party. I've got a wonderful cup of Dazbog coffee here, and we're just building away. Yeah. Hey, Dragon King, what's going on? So I mentioned earlier, but now I got some people actually watching. I didn't do my bag counts right at all. I did bag 20 yesterday. So I'm actually building bags 21 and 22 right now. This is 21. So that's what I'm doing right now. So we get a little bit of bonus action today. So. Okay, so never mind. It wasn't a mistake. I can't read. So, okay, I see what I did now. Okay, let me back all this stuff off. Sometimes you just have to go a few more steps ahead to take everything apart and realize where you made your mistake at. All right, let's try this again. It's been a day, guys. It's been a couple of days. I can't even get my bags right. Talking crazy. All right, let's try this again, this time with me being smarter about it. So disregard what I said. 12-step 1258 is fine. I just can't read. But I would be cautioned when you're on step 1258 because it definitely threw me for a loop. So spent all that time, and it turns out I just can't read too good. Excuse my hiccups. All right, now it's on there correctly. So the trick part is I'm going to show you on 1258. You need to make sure you have this lip here. So this piece is what you're putting together here. You need to make sure that there's a lip right here on this side to avoid any confusion, because that's what threw me off. I thought it was funky. So. All right. Now I can continue building. All right, so step 1260 will show you to make sure it's done right, but 1258 to 1260 should get your pieces like this. You should have this open ridge down here, and you should have this part up here exposed. So make sure you use this part of the video as reference from 1258 to 1260 because it's tricky. How tall is the Eclipse? I don't know yet. That's the safest thing I can say right now. I'd say right now, and I'll flip the camera on, you can see it sitting on my kitchen table here. I would say it's about 2 feet tall as it stands right now, from including the stand up to here. I'd probably say about 24 inches. I would imagine that this is probably going to go another foot into the air before it's all said and done. So don't be surprised if this thing's a little over 3 feet tall. But I'm still not done yet. So this isn't the top of the warship at all. There's still more to be built on there because I still have the con tower to build and other items. But it is wide for sure. I think it's 38 inches wide right now. I don't know if it's going to get much wider than that, but it's definitely the widest of them all. I haven't put it next to the Devastator, the Lego version, but I'm willing to bet that this is going to be bigger than the Devastator and the Executor. So it's going to be big, which is amazing. And I've already ordered my first round of minifigures for it too, which is pretty cool. I got about 20 in the other day, stormtroopers and some other minor stuff. I got to figure out officers, Imperial officers that were alive around this time, about 10 years after the Battle of Endor, in order to make this accurate. Like I know I could have Captain Paleon from the Thrawn series, because even though Thrawn died, Captain Paleon lived on. And I know General Pride. In the sequels, he's Allegiant General Pride, but we'll just call him General Pride. He's in there as well. So I'm gonna have to do some research to figure out the right officers to have in here to make sure it's correct. I mean, I can't have Admiral Mahdi, General Tag, Grand Moff Tarkin in here because that would not be correct. So we will see on that one there. Oh. Let's see here. I'm just doing this stuff right now. I'm snapping in these pieces here. I know the video is still kind of rough, guys, but I promise in about 3 months, come around the end of July, this is going to be 100 times better. I have this monstrous computer that's sitting in its box right now that I'm going to use, but I can't set it up on my kitchen counter. So I'm going to set it up downstairs when I get my Lego room built, my man cave. And you guys will be able to see it. And it's going to make the videos 100 times better because I'm going to have a top-down video that's going to be looking straight down while I'm building. So that way you guys don't have to look at me like this the whole time. Oh, and thank you for the compliment. Yeah, I know a lot about Star Wars. Part of it is because back when George Lucas still owned everything, there's a whole bunch of books that I read about Star Wars. They're what's called the Legends material now, but it's canon to me because that's what I've known. That's what I grew up with. And so reading those books gave me a ton of knowledge for Star Wars, because even though it's considered Legends, a lot of it is still true to most people who are Star Wars fans. So it translates really easily. Oh, but thank you for the nice compliment. I appreciate that. All right, so now I'm getting these two pieces put together. So this stuff looks right, you can't see it, but this looks like it's the back part of the destroyer right here. When I started the thing, it didn't give me a picture of where I was building, but I can tell now that these holes are where the engines are going to go through. All right, let's see. Where's those little studs at? There's so many tiny accessories to this one. It's going to be a fun challenge for sure, because there's a lot of one pieces, like one stud pieces in here. And there's a lot of rods, like way more than I thought there was going to be. And when I say rods, I'm saying these things right here. So, hold on, I got to plug my laptop in. I'm like, why did my screen go dark all of a sudden? There we go. All right, let's see if I can find this. There it is. But yeah, if you got any questions about Star Wars, man, throw it out there. I'll do the best I can to answer it. And most of my knowledge just comes from books and whatnot. I really don't spend a lot of time online trying to read stuff, because I don't know if the stuff I'm reading is even true at that point. And so it just makes it easier to just kind of stick with what I know with, because 99% of it translates universally to the current Star Wars universe. This is what I like when Mould King does this, because they reinforce everything. So you got all this plate work on top here, which is really cool to see. And then they reinforce it with all this extra stuff over here. So this is a really solid piece. So that's one thing I really like about Mould King, is how they reinforce it. I bent it a little because I hit a weak spot, but it's still very solid. And there's something to be said about using pieces like this compared to what Lego does, because Lego likes to use all of pieces this size. But Mould King doesn't. They'll use a couple of those pieces, but for the most part, they use a lot of small stuff, which I really like, because it makes the build just flat out more fun, if you ask me. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's an 8. Sorry, I count my head a lot too when I'm doing this. I don't know about you guys, but whenever they show me a picture of a brick, I got to count the studs half the time. All right. All right, so this plate is finished as is, but now I'm going to start doing the detail work, putting all the grates and cones and rods on it. So this is going to be a lot of fun doing, because I really enjoy when you get to do all the small detail work on it. Oh boy, and I brought the cup of death along with me here, the one stud pinchers. These guys right here, the cup of death. My fingers hurt just looking at it. Excuse me, guys. I'm going to stay nose down on this just so I can stay on it. So I may not look up as much, but I'll look up when I can. Because last time I tried to do this and talk to you all, I ended up botching like 9 steps. It was ugly. Oh, man. I don't like this step already. 1270 has got 10 of these little pinchers in it. So, yeah, I already don't like this already. Well, I actually magically grabbed 10 on my own. Let's see. Is it hard to build with so many pieces of the same color? Yes and no. Sometimes you get like colorblind in the sense when you keep looking at the black stack of pieces. For different ones, it can kind of run together. But I would rather have all my pieces be this color with Mold King because with Lego, half of these pieces would be orange and pink and red and blue. And it's what I called when I was building my Devastator, I called it the Happy Meal. And I hated seeing all those colors inside of a Star Destroyer. Yes, I know it's on the interior, but still, Star Destroyers are like this color. This should be the only color of the bricks for a Star Destroyer, minus a few. But if you've ever seen the Lego one, there's a whole bunch of colors on the inside of it, which I don't like. So it does get hard, but I would prefer it to be this way. Because I think it's more accurate when it's all the right colors all the way down. Man, these pinchers are something else. So yeah, just putting on all those little pinchers that you see right there. They are just no fun sometimes. But they add a nice level of detail to the ship that you just can't beat any other way. So it is 100% a necessary evil. So just staying on this real quick, guys. I got to be able to see it so I can finish it here. And I'll show you what I just did. So this is one thing that I really like about Mold King is, they take items you wouldn't normally think to add to detail work. So you see right here, you got these stands. Normally you see these pieces here inside vehicles that like people stand behind or stand in front of to hold on into place. And then they use these little T handles here. Let me pull one out here. They use these little guys. Oh gosh, where's my camera? There you go. So they use these little guys to snap in like here and here. And it kind of does it's hard to see sometimes, but when you're up close to it, you just come to appreciate how they find clever ways to apply already pre-constructed pieces. So. Yes, the Eclipse is from Legends. It's not in the movies. So the Eclipse comes from about 10 years after the Battle of Endor or 15 years after the Battle of Yavin. And it comes from the books and the comics. There was a series of books called the Black Fleet Crisis where they talk about the Eclipse in it. And then Marvel Comics had a comics run about the Reborn Emperor. And I can't remember the name of the comic series, but there's also a series of comic books that follow it. But the Eclipse is the cloned Palpatine reborn warship. It's his personal command ship. And so I hope that came out right. But so it's a much younger version of Palpatine. I think in these books he's like in his mid-30s, so he'd be very youthful looking. But it's basically his ship that he decided to, like one of the protocols awoke this clone and told him to start doing these things. And that's basically what happened in a nutshell. It's been a long time since I've read that book, to be honest with you. It's probably been about 20 years. But that's kind of the gist of what happened. This actually, the Eclipse was also more expensive to build and took longer to build than the Death Star. It took the Eclipse was commissioned back shortly after The Empire Strikes Back in secret. And it took them a little over 20 years to build. And because it took so long and the cost was so high, it ended up costing more than the Death Star to build. Let's see. I need wedgelets. And a 2x wedge. There's one. Oh yeah, it's an impressive warship, to say the least. Sorry, I'm just watching what I'm doing here real quick. This is a lot of small, intricate work. So I got to keep my head down so I can do it properly. Make sure I don't mess it up. There you go. I don't know if they put the Eclipse in any video games. I haven't played a Star Wars video game in forever. Like, I don't play any of the Lego ones. I played the original Battlefront for PlayStation 2, 20-something years ago. But that was probably the last time I played a Star Wars video game. So I don't know if they put the Eclipse in any video games. It would make sense if they did, but who knows if they actually did or not. It's the Eclipse isn't in this video game, but it's my personal all-time favorite Star Wars video game, and it's called Star Wars Rebellion. It is about 25 years old. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so sorry about that. It's about 25 years old. It's a great game. I've showed it before in some other live streams. I actually have the original disc here. Pull it out here real quick so you guys can see it. At least it better be here. Yeah, it's still here. So this is my all-time favorite Star Wars game. It's pure space combat. As the Empire, you can build Death Stars, Executor-class Super Star Destroyers, and it's all space combat. There's ground combat, but it's almost simulated. Like, you decide, like, I'm going to attack this planet. You bring enough troops, you win. You don't actually get to play it out. But if you want to play some old school Star Wars space games, this is the one to play. You can get it on Steam now if you don't have the disc, but this is a fun one. I like this one, and I'm kind of old school with my games. It takes a lot for me to want to invest in a video game and whatnot. So I know I've mentioned it before, but you can never go wrong with Star Wars Rebellion. It's a great game. If you're into old PC games. If you've never played an old PC game, then you may not like it too much. Let's see. Sorry, I got to count this out real quick, guys. I got 16 of these little great pieces to put in here, but I'll show you once I'm done what it looks like. All right, so I just had to put down all of those great pieces that you see like this right here. So that's what I was doing right there, is putting down all 16 of those. So there's those. And I do have to say, by far and wide, this is the hardest piece for me to look for when I'm digging out of the bag. Let me get my fingers out of the way. These, I call them the little one-stud wedgelets, or wedgelets, just to be short. These are the ones that blend in the most and are the hardest for me to find when I'm digging through all my pieces. Because normally with my my studs, anything that's a one stud, even if it's got like a pincher or anything on it, those get sorted into one area. And for some reason, these things are just camouflage to me. Okay, now I have to do 19 of these little pinchers. I'm rethinking my life choices right now. All right, got them all. All right. So I'm going to be down doing this for a little bit, guys, because it takes a little bit of detail. So if you post a question in there, I'll answer it as soon as I get done. But this is something I definitely got to be nose down in to do. I'm not trying to ignore anybody, but this is just that technical fun stuff you just have to pay attention to. Show you guys here in a second. Actually not as tough as I thought it was going to be, but still, I got to keep my face down. Otherwise, I lose my spot, and then I'm in big trouble. Almost there, guys. Thanks for bearing with me while I keep my head down and stay focused on this. All right. Thanks for bearing with me. So that's what I was doing right there. You can see all of these little pinchers down here. That's what I was putting on right there. So all sorts of fun in the sun with those guys right there. Fingers already tingling a little bit. All right, see what you got. Seen the Empire over Jeddah Mach. Yes, that is actually a Mould King set. That is actually the Mould King MK Star set, which is the signature line of Star Wars. That's the ones that they actually build them or they create themselves. So if you go onto Mould King's website and you see like Mock Brickland and anything else, that's other people designing ships and then posting them for sale on the Mould King website. But if you look at any ship and it's it's Mould King MK Stars, that's their builds. That's their designs and their builds for their sets. And so the Jeddah City is actually the best value per dollar because you only spend like $170, $180, and you get like 4,000 pieces, I think. So by far, for piece count to cost ratio, the Jeddah one is by far the best value. So you should totally get that one, man, and get it. You know, I don't know if you have AliExpress where you're at, but that's where I get all my stuff from. I know I say AliExpress a lot, but I like the fact that they have buyer protection, and plus I can use PayPal on there, which gives me even more protection. So that's just my personal pet peeve when it comes to that stuff. So, but yeah, I like those guys. Okay, let's see. That's really weird. I only have it on one side here. All right, we're going with it. So again, Mould King doing creative stuff with sets. So those little T-bars I put in right there, they actually put these little circular saucers on top of it to give it a different look. You got these. Now this is weird to me though. This is on here like this. There's not another clamp for this side. So if I have any of those extra pinchers, I may put it on here just to clamp this down properly because it just seems weird to me that it's only on one side. Maybe when I snap it onto the warship, it'll look a little bit better, but that's a real oddity right there that this piece is wobbly like this. So, but I will trust in the build. This is the part that stinks sometimes when you got to really push these pieces down. There we go. Finally got it down all the way. So, and for the speaking of the Mould King MK Star series, they just released the TIE Bomber. You'll have to hunt around a little bit on AliExpress to see it, but I believe it's on the Mould King official website. But they just released the TIE Bomber, so I'll probably get that one too eventually after I get a few more sets done. So it looks pretty sweet. I really hope they do a Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. That's the one I'm really hoping that they do. Or heaven forbid Lego update it because they haven't done a Darth Vader's TIE Fighter in like 20 years. That would be amazing if they could do that for a change. You know, let's do something that the fans want, you know. That's just crazy, Lego. So this is really neat right here. So this is another like Mould King Ingenuity thing. So they're going to take a piece that's shaped like this, and they're going to have you put a cone on it, and then you attach it to the warship, which I'm going to show you here real soon. Just another way Mould King really thinks outside the box when they do their builds. So that's the piece right there that I just put on. Is that one right there. So yeah, my son just showed me a picture of Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. It was from the Rebel set, but I'm talking like a really nice UCS TIE Fighter. I think that would be amazing to have. But that's just me. Or it's some more Palpatine stuff, you know, because you can never get enough of Darth Sidious. So I would never say no to any sets that are, you know, I can't think of the term, that feature him. Okay, let's see here. Yeah. All right, let's see here. I'm almost done. I'll show you guys where I'm at with what I just put on here. Okay, so what I just got done doing right over there is I snapped this on, then I added these rods right here, and then snapped a few more rods on over here and over here to kind of flush that out. So, hey, Flammy, what's going on? I have not bought the Venator yet. I will buy it at the beginning of May. That's when I'm going to go ahead and buy it because by then this thing will almost be done. And then I'm going to start on my birthday gift, which you guys will see starting in May. That's my next build is my birthday gift. And then after that, my plan is to do the Venator. Let's see. Snapping a few more things on right here. This is always the hardest for me right here is when you got to push these pieces together because sometimes my arthritis does not like it at all. Okay, hold on a second. I got to grab a tool. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. I had to grab a tool from over here real quick to help me do this. See if this will help me out. I hate using pliers, but I've got to push this rod through, and I'm hoping that the pliers will help me hold it in place so I can get this push rod through. No, dang it. Well, let me see if I can put this on without pushing it down, because yeah, I may be able to get away with it. I just hate doing it. So what it wants me to do is to take this and push this all the way down. But that's proving to be challenging for my arthritis. I'm going to try to pop it off if it'll come off. No, I'm going to break it. Well, but it's going to have to go on like this because I can't get it to push down. So I'm not going to risk busting up my hands or anything for something like that. So all right. Okay, keep pressing on here. So there's the work that I just did right there. You can kind of see that I added these cones around the bottom of the warship. And then there's the piece that I had issues putting on right there. But that's what I'm doing right now. Is now I'm just starting to do detail work on the back here, which just looks amazing. I had to put these pistols on. Looks pretty cool this way. I actually don't have any issues when they use like pistols or rifles, like Lego ones, as accessory parts on it because I can make it believe that it's like defenses. So I'm snapping this on right here. That's as I drop it. I'm snapping this bad boy on. There's 6 of these that are going on. So I like doing this because it's I think it looks neat. What I hate is when Lego does random stuff. Like the hill I'm going to die on is having Thor's hammer on the back of the Devastator. I just thought that was cheesy as all get up and completely unnecessary for Lego to do. Like I could have tolerated the roller skates, but like Thor's hammer has no business being on a Star Destroyer. And so that really was like, that's the hill I'm going to die on. I promise you is that one. All right. So I just put more detail work on the bottom here. Show you guys here in a little bit once I get it all done. I'm going to finish up this page real quick. There you go. So, all right. So I finished a lot of the detail work. You saw I put this plating down across the bottom, put some more of these little holders. You got these weapons sticking up all over the place. Let me fix this one so it looks good. You got guns sticking out of this right here. So far, so good. It's looking really nice. I mean, that level of detail work you would never find in a Lego set. Yep, and it actually wants me to put it on the warship. All right, we're going to spin this around here and pull this up so I can put this on. See, that piece that I told you that was being barely held on just fell off. So I'll have to fish that out and reattach it. So I'm already seeing with this piece right here, make sure that even though you snap the top on, you got to really work to get the bottom to stay on. Use the studs that are on this side of the ship to determine where you need to push at. So that way you make sure you get it seated properly and snugged up. Yeah, see, look, it just came off right there. When in doubt, push kind of right next to the engines and all this. It's kind of hard to see because it's all black on black, but there's engines right here, and kind of just push all around those to get everything to seat up properly and snug onto the warship. And there we go. And that one's done. When I do the review, I'll tomorrow when I do the review, I'll come in close so you guys can see everything that I just put on right there. How many bags does it have? It has 32 bags. And then it has an accessory bag it's got a whole bunch of the little pinchers. It's got all of your Technic pieces, which are all the little, the stud, or, these guys right here, the Technic connectors, stuff, bags of this. It's got all the grates. I call them grates, the 1x2 grates, those pieces. And then some, these are the single studs. If you play the Lego Star Wars game, I just threw it. Thank goodness it didn't go anywhere. It's got one of these guys, a whole bag. So it's really 33 bags total. 32 bags are for the ship. And then that accessory bag, I just lay them out in cups, as you guys see like this. And then as I need them, I pull them over and I'll pick out of them to build out of. So my intention was to do 32 bags a bag every day, but I had to take a stoppage because I got shorted a piece. So I'm about 5 days behind. So depending on what these next bags look like, I may do 2 bags a day just to kind of get myself caught up to where I want to be with this. All right. So now we're on to building this next part here. And pull this down so you guys can see me building. Bless you. It's allergy season where I'm at. I'm sure everybody else is dealing with them too. So my son just sneezed. And they're over there sniffing away. Zach, I'm actually using the Technic pieces right now. So I'm building this right here, and I actually need these little connectors right here. These are the ones that seat in, and then you can attach bricks to on it. So Yes, this one I'm building is actually a Mould King authentic or original, however you want to say it. This is something that they designed and commissioned themselves. Actually, you can, I know I said Mould King MK stars, but you'll know it's an authentic Mould King is when you look at the instructions, it looks like that. The MK stars, it'll have the Mould King, the piece list, which is almost 11,000, the set number. And this is 2 books right here. But this is how you know it's a Mould King authentic for the Star Wars line, at least. Anything that's MK stars, that's going to be their biggest ships, their most authentic designs, and whatnot. So that's how you can tell if it's a Mould King authentic. And there's my dogs. So, dogs always like to bark and say hi. Just put it on my bed for me. Got a package today, which is pretty sweet. I don't know what it could be. Who knows? We will find out. It'll be the mystery package later on today. All right. So this piece, let's see here. Oh, okay. So I built this little piece right here. It's going to attach to the back of the warship right here. That was actually fairly easy, and it went together the way it should have been. So that was really nice. And so it's kind of hard to see, but this piece right here should overlap. You can't see it. I'll show it when I take the video tomorrow. But this piece should overlap like this. I don't know if I can get my laptop close enough. Sorry, guys. Like I said, I wish the camera angles were better sometimes. But you can kind of hard to see, but this piece needs to overlap right there. So, all right. All right, now I'm on to the other side. So I'm pretty much going to be doing everything that I just did, but on the opposite side. It'd probably help if I was paying attention and not skipping ahead in my steps. Anybody else have that problem where they just start skipping ahead on their steps and not even paying attention? Do it all the time. Yeah, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one, man. It's doing all the time. Drives me crazy. So I'm basically doing everything that I did on the one side. Now I'm doing it on this side. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Like I said, I'm making the identical thing for the opposite side. Hear my dog growling. That's my beautiful pit bull, Xana. She sees a gust of wind or something, and she's got to bark at it. So, Xana, do you want to come say hi? Xana, come here. Come here. So if you hear anybody barking in the background, this is Darth Xana, my pit bull. Hi, baby. Yeah. I know. You just see all the dogs and you want to bark. I know. So yeah, this is whenever you guys are watching my videos, you hear the barking. It's my pitty Xana. She's like she's got to bark at thin air, random leaves that are blowing. It's so funny. Gosh, I love dogs. I'm actually surprised my pit bull came over because she does not like she can tell when you're trying to take a picture of her, and she's like, "No, Dad, no pictures." So I'm surprised she jumped up and said hi to everybody. I think she did it the last time too, but there's sometimes I can't get her to come over at all. She's like, "No, Dad." So nothing really crazy going on right here, guys. I'm doing the same thing as I did before, just on the opposite side. So not very exciting right now when it's basically the same things that you're building again. Here's that wonky piece again that threw me off. Now this time I'll line it up right, I swear. Sorry guys, give me a second. I gotta line this up properly. See, now that I know what to do, this not so hard this time, but this is the piece that was giving me fits earlier. So, oh yeah, you missed your chance to give your dog a Star Wars name yet. I was torn between Talon and Xana, but I was like, everybody knows Darth Talon just because she's a very beautiful Twi'lek Sith Lord. So I went with Darth Xana. She is Darth Bane's apprentice. She eventually killed him and took over the rule of the Sith. Because when Bane implemented the rule of two, he obviously killed all the other Sith, but he took Xana as his apprentice. And eventually she rose up and killed Darth Bane and then took over the rule of the Sith. So that's why I went with her. She's not as famous as Darth Talon, but no less ruthless than he. Sorry, I'm keeping my head down to get this going, guys. I want to get it done as fast as possible so I can get into the detail work. Not trying to ignore y'all, but I'm just staying focused on it. So, yeah, the nice part too about giving my dog the name Xana, nobody in my family knew until after I told them, like, oh, this is why I named her Xana. Because at first they were like, Susanna, and I'm like, sure, you go on with that. But once the name stuck, and I'm like, no, it was really Xana for this reason. So, not letting them try to con me into some weird girly name like Princess or something. All right. Almost there, and I'll show you guys where I'm at with this. So there you go. That's what I've been working on right there. Same thing from the other side, but just got to get it done. So now it's going to attach to this plate so we make the foundation, and then I'm probably going to get into the detail building here soon. Actually, I'm willing to bet that's coming up in about 4 steps. Yep, so we got this piece put together now. It's actually going to go on the, as I drop it, go figure. Let's see. So it's actually going to go on the ship like this on the right side of the destroyer as I look at it. But yeah, just the opposite piece. So that's what we're doing right now. I kind of get excited when I get towards the end of the bag. Like when I don't need my cup anymore, I use the last piece. I can go and flip it upside down and put it on my stack. Let's see, and there's my dog barking again. My son keeps coming in and out of my house, and the dogs are going to bark no matter what, because, you know, that's what dogs do. Don't bother me. Just dogs being dogs. Let's see. There it is. What was that, guys? I'm going to talk to my son. Is your truck dead again?
Mm-hmm. It doesn't even make the clicking sound this time.
Oh.
I'm turning the key and it's not even starting.
All right. So, Cole, I'm going to tell you now I'm not going to jump it because you're going to drain the battery on my Mustang. Because, Cole, I mean, I don't want to keep jumping it because, you know, if I jump it too much, you're going to kill my battery. So I'm sorry, man. I don't know what else to tell you. Plus, I'm in the middle of the stream. I can't really stop right now to go do it. So see if one of your friends will come over and jump you. So sorry about that, guys. My son came in with a worrisome look on his face, and so he's got an older truck, and the battery keeps dying on it. And I've got a nice, beautiful Mustang. But I really don't want to kill my battery by constantly jumping his car.
Ow. Ow.
So now I'm putting on the little pinchers again. Yay, yay for my fingers. I had one too many. That's fine. Oh, no, I didn't. I just forgot to put one on where it's supposed to be. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Yep. I'm just putting on more pinchers there, as you can see them on the top half. Yeah, I mean, if you can get the Empire over Jeddah on Amazon for a good price, I would do it. Just kind of watch out for the shipping costs. Because I don't know if I don't know if they have like the Amazon warehouses in Europe or whatnot. But you know, just pay attention to shipping costs, and then just, you know, as I tell people, when you're looking to buy from, you know, those websites, because I don't know what Amazon Europe is like, but look for a seller that's got a lot of good reviews on it, a lot of transactions, just like you would on eBay. That way, you're not buying somebody who's just trying to scam you. If they've got, I don't know. I always like to see somebody with about at least 10 to 15 reviews. That way I at least know it's a good buyer. So that's just me personally. All right, so I'm doing everything you saw me do last time. I'm putting on these little handle pieces and the little T parts right there to snap into the little handle. So that's what you see me doing right now. You guys have already seen this on the other side. So I'm just kind of jamming away on it to get it done so we can move on, get this done, and get ready for the next bag. Because for those that haven't joined, that have kind of come on late, I'm doing 2 bags today. So we're going to try to get both bags done here before I got to head out and do my stuff. I pick up my daughter from work. She gets done at 4, so I still got like an hour and a half, so I should be good. Man, I must have skipped a whole step where I had to put pieces on here because I must have, because I am missing pieces everywhere. That's what I get. See, my brain does that sometimes. I'm just cruising along and then I just realize I skipped like 3 steps. So give me a second here. I got to try to find a little stud piece here. Amidst all the chaos of my table here. Okay. Let me go grab one out of my extras pile real quick here because I'm not going to waste time trying to search for it. All right. Easier to pull it out of my extras pile than to sit there and stare at it and try to figure out where it goes. All right. Thanks for the shirt. My daughter actually got this for me for my birthday a couple years ago. You can actually get this at Hot Topic. I don't know if they have Hot Topic or if they ship wherever you're at. But if you want a cool Darth Sidious shirt, Hot Topic. That's where this one, she got this one for me. All right. I'm going to do 17 of the greats here real quick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Let me just put this all down because I'm losing count. Nope. Missed it by 1. I get really excited when I grab, like, if I need 17 and I grab 17 with 1 pinch. I'm at that age where that really excites me. All right. So I haven't looked up in a bit, guys. I just got to stay focused on this. Otherwise, I'll lose my spot and be a hot mess everywhere. All right. So that's what I was doing right there. Is again putting all the great work on right there. So I just got to stay down and focused on it. Otherwise, I will lose my spot. Try not to do that a lot when I'm doing builds with you guys, but it sometimes happens. So I got to stay focused. All right, so I just had to put some of those wedgelets on and whatnot, guys. So, oh boy, more pinchers. All right, so I got to put 19 of these pinchers on, guys. So I apologize. We got to stay down and be focused on that. I'll be up in a second here. Oh, hi, Nina. Sorry. Twice in one show, huh? I know, you're so neglected. Nobody loves you. I can tell. Sometimes pitties are very needy dogs. Yes, they are, but it's so pretty. You're my good girl. No, I'm not giving you any treats. You already got your treats today. No. See, she's over here trying to snooker me into giving her more treats. Yes, aren't you? Yes, baby. Now she's trying to lick me. Oh, no lickings. You know Daddy doesn't like getting licked. Almost there, guys. I'm really sorry about all this. It just takes forever. I hate not being able to look up at my screen and being able to respond, but I got to stay focused on this. Ouch. Make sure I do it right. So, all right. Now we're putting this weird gate on again with only one holder, but we're going to go with it because that's what they want me to do. Let's see. All right, so that's what I've been doing right there. I got all these pinchers put on. You can see them all through here. Got this gate put on. I got these cones and these caps put on right here. So we're all set there. All right. All right. I'm just doing this detail work here real quick. You know, what it is I'm just putting these push rods into these cones right here and then seating them right there. I don't know. Just, I love how they do that kind of detail work in this. It's so great. All right. All right. All right. Some of the fun stuff here. Man, I'm almost out of coffee. Don't need a cone, I need a cylinder. There we go. Yep. Oh, I'm up to 4. 4. Thanks you guys all again for tuning in. I appreciate it. 5 is the record, though. 5 is the record. So 1 away from tying the record for most viewers that I've seen. So, but like I said, guys, this is just about having fun. I'm not trying to, make money or anything. Now, on the off chance I ever did make money off this channel, any money that I did make, I would pour into buying another ship so I can keep building stuff and creating content, because that's my ultimate goal, is just to create content and have fun. This was never a money-making venture. It never will be. This is all strictly just having fun. But if I happen to make a little bit, that's great. And you'll see me put it into the next build, because that's what I believe in. I don't believe in some of the weird stuff that people do with YouTube. Like, you're not going to see me dropping these things and all that other stuff just for likes and clicks. That's just not my cup of tea per se. So let's see. Somebody's here at my house. Gotcha. So, and my dog's barking because she's hearing a new person. So it's fine. All right, here's a piece that I don't like. And so the piece, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it all the way down, but we're going to sure give it a college try. Yep, it's not going to go down. So this one's just going to be funky like its brother. But it doesn't really affect the build in the long term. Just, it's a little bit different of a placement for it, but we're not worried about it. I'll show you guys here in a second once I get all these cones put on and built up and attached. All right, so that's what we got done here. You can see I got the cones put on here, up here, and whatnot. I've attached all the push rods around it. Like I said, this is identical to the other side, so it's nothing different that you haven't already seen. Which is more dreaded, the Empire or multiple bags full of open clips to place? You know, Nemonis, that is a rock solid question. The Executor had so many of those pinchers. I had to take a day off after doing those ones. Like, my fingers hurt so stinking bad. So that is the question of the month right there. And I'd have to say the pinchers. I mean, like they said in the old Starship Troopers, the enemy can't press a nuke if you disable its hand. So if my hand's disabled, I can't fight. So I think that wins the day there. And thank you for joining on, Nemonis. I appreciate it. So I'm getting all these guns placed on here. Just like you guys saw in the last one with the guns. You see them on top of here, and you see them sticking out the sides here and here. So that's what I was doing right over here. Let me see if I can get it tilted so you can get a better angle of it all. Yep. So that's what's going on right there. We're getting to the end of this bag here, which is pretty nice. We'll get started on the next bag here shortly because I've already got it all opened up and laid out because let me tell you, I was having some issues over the last couple of days getting my bags named right. I was just like hot garbage was probably the nicest way to put it. Oh. There is my dogs again. So I just put some finished plate work on it right there. You can kind of see it in the reflection right there. And we're going to go and snap this onto the warship over here. So let me go ahead and turn this. This is just going to go on this side. Make sure you guys push down where the engines are at because that's where it's going to click on the best right there. What's up, Cole?
Truck's dead.
Is it dead?
She said it's the alternator.
Okay.
And if she tried to jump it with her car,
Uh-huh.
the truck would start, but it would immediately shut off, even if I put the gas on.
Yep, and that's the alternator for you. So
she said even if I got it started and drove it, it would die on me and my truck would just stop.
Yep. So all right. Well, we'll worry about that later, Cole. So sorry, I'm talking to my son right now. He's got some life issues going on. So he's got an old beat up truck that's just dying on him. So I take time to answer his questions because you can see it in his face that, so. All right, so I'm building this piece again. You guys already saw this from one side to the other. This is nothing new that you're not missing out on anything. This is just me throwing this together real quick. All right, so I got that piece built here. Yep. I'm gonna snap this onto the warship on this side. So again here, they're just going to line up with the holes right here. Thankfully, this is pretty easy to do. This isn't like anything crazy. Plus, the nice thing is you can get your fingers behind here to help push everything into place. So that makes it very easy to do and to manage. Just got to get it lined up properly. Go in from the bottom first and then push them in from the top. And then that way they seat it properly. So now, I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple of bags ago, there were some rotating pieces in here that I had to omit because the way you snap this all together. Well, this piece pretty much fixes any structural issues with that right there, because this piece here and then the one on the opposite side really reinforce this corner. So don't feel bad if the pivot pieces, and I'll explain this tomorrow in the video, I'll give you a close, but right here, there's pivot pieces. Don't feel bad if those fall up, because what these two pieces put on right up there just short up that back half of the destroyer there. So, all right, and that finished bag 21. So we're going to go right on into bag 22. Let me put my extras off to the side here because I don't need them. Put them into my extras cup. Now, lucky for me is that I already had this bag sorted because I had so many bags in front of me that I didn't know like what was going on. So I'm going to take a second here to get all this dumped out and ready to go. So 1 second here, team. I want to get this all rigged for red per se. For anybody that's knows submarine warfare, they know rig for red. Let me get these pieces up and out of here. Some of the ones that I need out. Just kind of going quick here so you guys can see all this. I'm just kind of... All right, ready to rock and roll. Who is my favorite Sith? Well, this guy right here, Darth Sidious, by far is my absolute favorite Sith warrior. I mean, he's the only Sith to not only exterminate the Jedi and conquer the galaxy and rule it, which was always the ambition of the Sith, but nobody could ever seem to get it done. But Darth Sidious did it. And he didn't have to use brute force in everything. All it was is he used politics. Sorry, I had to count it real quick. But all it took was politics and time. And Sidious realized that a long time ago that he had to play the long game if he was going to get rid of the Jedi. If he tried to do it by brute force and a lot of people, eventually the Jedi will rally and they'll be able to take him down because there's thousands of Jedi, but only 2 Sith. You know, him and Darth Tyrannus couldn't do it all alone. Even if he had Darth Vader with him, they would still struggle because eventually the Jedi would overwhelm them. So it's definitely Darth Sidious by far. He understood how the game was played better than anyone, and he did it. He was able to, I mean, even with the sequel trilogy, according to that, the Jedi still have not recovered from Order 66. And that is just phenomenal, if you ask me. That's the only way I can describe it, was phenomenal, because, you know, no other Sith before that did what he did. You know, and even though he died, you know, at the Battle of Endor, you know, the sequel trilogy is what, 20 years after that or something like that? The Jedi still haven't recovered. They are still in disarray. Their numbers are not being built. You know, people talk about Jedi as if there's some sort of like myth or legend. And that's why he was so good, because he was able to basically change the mindset of an entire galaxy about the Jedi. And so it was pretty amazing what he was able to do, you know. Now, he was absolutely ruthless when he did it, and it's to be commended for sure. Which I think it is. I think it's incredible what he did. You just can't, you know, that stuff just doesn't happen overnight. So I'm building a piece now for the back of the warship. Again, I don't know what it's for, but we're going to find out. But that's what I'm working on right now. I'm into bag 22 now. So, but yeah, Darth Sidious by far. I could talk about him all day long. And some of you know that have already asked me that question. They already know my love for Darth Sidious. And I always say the story of Star Wars wasn't about, and the Skywalker family is is they're like the filler almost for the story. But if you really watch Star Wars and really love it, and especially if you're a fan of the dark side, the story of Darth Sidious is far, far superior to the story of Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, hands down. So yeah, Darth Sidious all day long. And then after Darth Sidious, for me, it would be Darth Malgus. Just how brutally ruthless Malgus was and hyper aggressive. Plus, he just had a freaking cool look about him. So after Darth Sidious is number one, then I would take Darth Malgus. I don't know what I'm building here, but I'm building it. I got to put a lot of these big old thick wedge pieces down here, which is what you guys see me doing right now. So I'm going to let you guys know that at the end of April, I've got to go to a friend's wedding in another state. So there's about the last, April 28th to May 1st, I will not be building because I'm on vacation. And then I'll be on vacation again at the end of July to go to my a reunion of sorts. So other than that, though, I should be building through most of the summer. So, we will keep this party going, but there'll be a few days, and I'll remind everybody like when I head out on vacation. And so, all right, so this is what I just built right here. Just big cylinder with all these side wedges like this. So we're going to keep this party going. What's everybody else's favorite Sith? Put it up in the comments. Let everybody know who your favorite is. So I'm just building some pieces right here. It looks like this is going to be a cover of some type that's going to go across the top here. Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen here. I got that right there. So that's what that was with the little red piece right there. So let's see. Another nice thing about Darth Sidious is if you go, I think somebody did it on YouTube. They found all of his appearances from the Phantom Menace, the Clone Wars, all the movies and everything. He only has about an hour and 40 minutes of screen time. If you combine all of his appearances from every movie, every cartoon, every one of his appearances as both, starting from the Phantom Menace forward, as both not only Darth Sidious, but some of he's Chancellor Palpatine, but he's talking like he's Sidious. So, yeah, but it's only like an hour and 40 minutes of screen time in the entire trilogy, So that's another thing I like is that he is not overly used. I mean, you got to remember, Darth Sidious only showed up for 30 seconds at the end of Clone Wars when they when Dooku landed at the Imperial facility of Dacho. So yes, that is the name of the facility in Clone Wars where Sidious comes out of. It's the abandoned facility at Dacho. It was an old power plant where there was a catastrophic explosion, and Darth Sidious secretly restored power to it, and he was able to run his operations out of that area for a long time. I mean, and that's probably the best part of Clone Wars anyway. I mean, the only part of Clone Wars that I like, or not Clone Wars, sorry, Attack of the Clones, whatever, was that final part. You know, the duel between Dooku, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Yoda, and then, of course, Dooku's escape, and then when he lands and talks to Darth Sidious. That was sweet. And then, of course, you see the birth of the Empire, which I have a very, very high-end sound system. And when that comes on, when you first hear the Imperial March and you see all the clones assembling and all the Acclamator class Star Destroyers, whoo, that brings a chill to my spine, and I turn it up. My neighbors can hear it, and they're like, oh boy, here he goes again. I'll be marching around the house just happy as a pig in slop, because it is the birth of the Empire right there. You know what other Lego we really need is Count Dooku's Solar Sailor. That's another one that we really need right there. That's another Lego set that's missing from the collection of anybody here is doing that Solar Sailor. Ho, 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 ho. Wow. Okay. All right. Everybody pray for my fingers, because right here it says I need 36 of the little pinchers. 36. 36. Pray for me, guys. My fingers hurt already, and I haven't even started. Okay, so whoever came up with this part is an evil person. They are sadistic. Oh, yeah, I'm doing 18 aside here, so it's going to take a little bit, guys. So... oh, let's see here. Still going. The Energizer Bunny would have been passed out by now if they had to put this many on. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with Darth Maul. That's an excellent story arc. You know, and you know, Darth Maul is only one of 3 Form 7 lightsaber masters that we know about in the Star Wars universe, what they call the trilogy universe. Now, I don't know outside the books or anything, but there's only 3 Form 7 masters: Darth Maul, Darth Sidious, and Mace Windu. So, you know, I was kind of heartbroken when Darth Maul died in the Phantom Menace, and it was weird to see him come back. But you know, besides the flop of a lightsaber fight when he found Kenobi when he was old and then died really quickly, I think they did Darth Maul justice. Although it was a little weird that he had to use his training, I mean, to keep him alive. It was interesting to say the least, but I think they did it right for his story arc. I did like seeing him at the end of Solo. That was the only good part of Solo, was seeing Darth Maul and Kira talking. You know, and he's on Dathomir, and you can see that he has his metal legs, and he's still kind of haggard. He hasn't like fully restored himself yet. And so that was, like I said, that's the best part of Solo right there. Solo, besides that, was a complete flop of a movie. Thanks, Kathleen Kennedy, for making a terrible movie that nobody liked. I really hope they get rid of her sooner than later. She's just killing Star Wars right now. Even George Lucas has had to step in and be like, I don't know what's going on. Nothing is ever official, but it's been reported that he has been in talks with Favreau and Filoni and Kennedy about, you know, this is not what he wanted for his movies going forward. And apparently there was some talk of utter disappointment in what's happened with what Kathleen did. And he's like, I'm very thankful for Favreau and Filoni for basically saving his movies. But they have a long way to go still with them. All right, so I just did 36 of those. I got to put 18 of these on now to snap the bars across it. So now it makes me putting on all of these little pinchers worth it. I'll show it to you guys here in a second once I get them all snapped on. So I've learned when I do a lot of these bars is to have them higher on one side than the other, and then you use a long piece to kind of seat them all up and line them up properly. And I'll show you guys what I mean here in a second. I got to pick one up off the floor. It wouldn't be a build if I didn't drop something on the floor. Oh, my favorite Star Wars movie, Empire Strikes Back, hands down. Nothing even comes close. It's the best of all 9 movies, in my opinion. So what I did here with these is I made them all taller on this side. So that way I'm going to use a long piece and I'm going to push them down and then line them up properly using this going all the way down. So that way they're centered and uniform across the top. So as you can see, they're shorter on this end, but I made them longer up here. And then I just take a piece like this and then I just kind of push them down until they line up where I want them to. I got a couple here that are not fully seated in the pinchers and don't want to move. There we go. Just getting these lined up. Some of them just did not want to move the way I wanted them to. There we go. So as you can see, by doing that, I get them all nice and lined up universally, so they're just racked up properly like that. So. Yeah, Nemanis, you're right. Dooku, I mean, he never needed to Sith eyes. You're correct. And I read the novel too, and you could tell he hated General Grievous. He thought he was just not needed. And I definitely liked him. I would like to know more about when he was Darth Tyrannus. Like, tell me more of the side story of Darth Tyrannus and whatnot versus Dooku. So, but that's just me. But yeah, nothing wrong with that. So. I like how some of the novelizations they used his like head from when he was a James Bond villain, and they put the green lightsaber into him and made him look good, and then he switched from green to red. And so Count Dooku's lightsaber form was Form 2, because Form 2 is the highest evolved version of lightsaber combat there was. And since he was a Sith Lord, always encountering Jedi, he needed to be a master at lightsaber combat, which is what Form 2 is, which is why he could hold his own against Obi-Wan and Anakin, respectively, because he was a much more accomplished lightsaber duelist than they were. Obi-Wan was a Form 4 and Anakin was a Form 5. And Dooku being a 2 was able to always best them. So, all right. So now this piece is done here. So I got this big old piece here, and this is going to go back on the warship just like this. Let's see. Let me make sure. Oh, this end goes up. Yep. Just like this. Oh man, did I miss it? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. All right. Hold on, guys. Time out. Of course, my eye skipped a step because I wanted to get this done, and I didn't do this right. Give me a second here. I got to peel this off, and then let me do this right. Got too busy talking about Star Wars and cool stuff, and out come the pliers. Actually, I'm going to use my tweezers. There we go. So one thing I've learned when I'm fixing my mistakes is a pair of tweezers and a pair of pliers go a long way. So sorry, I'm going to flip this back over. I completely skipped a step, and I put the plating on here, but there's actually a whole nother row of studs. So you have a whole nother row of stud pieces and some stuff here, and then I put the plating over it. But of course, my eye skipped ahead, so now I'm fixing that mistake right now, which thankfully I caught it before it got too out of control. All right, now that I fixed my mistake, I can put my plating back on. And now here's the funny thing. All that work I did about using the piece to level these off, well, guess what? Now that I've got the plating up to the right angle, it's doing it for me automatically. So who is my favorite Jedi? Well, to be honest, I don't have a favorite Jedi because I always root for the Sith no matter what. So I really don't have a favorite Jedi because my loyalty lies with Darth Sidious and him alone. So, yeah, honestly, I don't have a favorite Jedi because I really don't like the Jedi at all. So, yeah, don't have a favorite Jedi. Sorry. All right. Now that I've actually fixed my mistake and it looks a lot cleaner here, you can see how that looks right there. This is the backbone piece. Now I'm going to put it on the warship because now that I've corrected it, it looks a lot better. So this piece, these red pieces here and here, snap on here and here. There's 2x4 pieces that are sticking out right here, and that's what these red ones snap onto right there. Let me stand up so I can make sure I'm seeing this right. So the problem is let's see. I don't know if the bottom one pushed on because I can't really tell, and I'm trying to get my fingers down in there to provide enough leverage to make sure it's seated. It doesn't feel like it's on there. Let me try to pop this off. See if I can seat the bottom one first. See, this is one of the few things that I don't like is because this bottom piece is not on. It's kind of hard to see, but the top, this piece is not snugging up properly on this part of the ship there. And so I can tell because it's way looser than it should be. And there's no way for me to get my hands deep into here to really get that snugged up and get it like, oh, wait a minute, Nope. A sec. Okay, I'm going to use my phone here real quick, guys, and use my camera if I can see if this is mounting up properly or not. Nope, I really can't tell, so I'm going to have to do the next best thing. Stick my face under here. Well, I can't get it under there. All right. Yeah, let me... I just don't know why that doesn't want to press on. It's right about here, and it just does not want to press on. I wonder. I'm going to take this piece out, and I'm going to put it on here, and maybe that'll help seat it up properly, because that one should go on like that versus this. So let's try it and see if that works a lot better. No, I guess it is on there. It just doesn't feel right. So this piece getting put on like that tells me now that it's on there properly. It just didn't feel that way because it was snugged up. So let me push this back on here like this. Oops, just knocked my throne off. Okay, so if you put this on, I'll show you the review when I do it, but it's a little loose down here. But that's just how it is when you mount this together. All this tight detail work and whatnot. Oh, no, never mind. I just got it to seat. Okay. All right, now it's on there nice and good. Never mind. All right, so that was a lot trickier than I thought, guys. Let me spin this around here real quick. Is getting this piece here to mount up to the back of the destroyer here. You got to finagle it a little bit and keep pushing on it. But if you've done it right, this bottom part over here will be as snug as the top part up here. And I actually put my hand, my pressure down here and pushed from down here. And I put my hand on this right here to provide the counter pressure to get it seated. So just be cognizant of that right there. That is step 1359. So if you guys are building this step 1359, pay attention to, because that's another tricky one. All right, now it looks like I'm going to do the parts of the warship that go on right here. Sorry for the reflection. I got my curtains open right there so I can get some more backlight into it. But we're going to start putting pieces on right here. So, what is your favorite Jedi? I'm sorry, I just don't have one. I don't like the Jedi. I stay true to my Sith Lord roots. I mean, heck, if I didn't know that Obi-Wan Kenobi would already live, I'd be rooting for him to die at the end of Kenobi. But I know he lives because he's got to make it to episode 4, so... I just really hope that they fix the Grand Inquisitor in Kenobi, because that cantaloupe head that he has right now is just an abomination. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I hope they really fix it and make him look like he is from Utapau, like he's supposed to be. Because it is an abomination for sure. Bless you. Mm-hmm. I am very curious to see how the duel with him and Luke go as well, too. I would love to see, Vader and Obi-Wan again, to see how that turns out, to see if Obi-Wan really has lost his edge and if Vader's finally able to best him, or if it's like another draw, or if Vader is soundly defeated and he has to go back and train harder. Like, I am curious to see how they do the duel between them. and how they meet up and where it all happens and whatnot. I think it's a very good piece of storytelling right there that I hope they get it right. It sounds like they're going to get it right. You know, I mean, you got John Williams coming back to score the music and put it together. So that right there makes me super happy. And so I just put on doing this piece here, and I've already got like some of the pinchers on there right there. Well, good, Demonis. I'm glad you were disappointed too. Like, but hey, we still got 6 weeks. Hopefully, they're fixing him. So that's all we can hope for at this point. Let's see. I think everybody is disappointed in the Grand Inquisitor. I haven't met anybody yet who said they totally like him with the cantaloupe head. I think everybody is disappointed with how he looks. So I'm just building this little piece out right here. I do have to say, though, I do like how they did Fifth Brother. He looks okay to me. And then I think it's Second Sister, who is the other Inquisitor, the female. I'm not sure if I'm right with that, but I think it is Second Sister. And I really do like how they did those guys. They look good. So. I'm just doing some of this detail work. I'll show you guys here in a second. I'm almost done with this page. Snapping some of this stuff on. All right, so this is what I've been doing right here is building this out. And as you can see, I've got these studs with the pinchers on them, some wedgelets. You can see the pinchers and the rods right here. So that's what I'm doing right now is getting all that done. So I also been looking into a better light for all of this. So I'm very new to this whole streaming thing, guys. I'm legitimately doing this as I kind of learning as I go. So I am, bear with me. It's going to get better. I just have to figure out how to make it better and find the right stuff. So I appreciate you guys who do turn in and, set aside that sometimes of the lighting issues and whatnot that I have to enjoy and watch. I appreciate it. It's going to get better. Trust me. I said, I'm learning all this as I go. All right. So that was pretty cool right there. They had me put the pinchers on, but put them on upside down and attached to this rod. They've done this before in Mould King builds, but that's pretty neat to see right there is them doing that. So that piece is done right there. And so I've got another part to start on here. Let's see. Let's see here. Sorry about this, guys. Just doing some more of my small detail work right here. So you guys hear in a second what I'm doing. So I'm kind of building out this little wing right here and kind of setting up the how it's going to look. I'm going to put these three little cover pieces on, and I'm going to show you what I just did. So I just did this little wing piece right here. You can kind of see it with the cover wedges I've got on right here. And it looks like it's going to mount to this piece here in a little bit. But for right now, that's one side of it. Now I got to do the other side of it. Set that down there. So I'm basically going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. I just got talking about Kenobi, and all I can hear in my head is the Duel of the Fates. Who is my favorite bounty hunter? Ooh, that's a good question. Favorite bounty hunter? That's actually, you kind of got me stumped on that one a little bit. I really like how they did Cad Bane in The Mandalorian. That was pretty sweet. You know, give me a second to think on that. I got to think about my favorite bounty hunter. You kind of threw me for a loop there. That's actually a really good question. Oh, there's my dog. Xana. No barking at the air, sweetheart. Xana, come on. You know, you got me really stumped with my favorite bounty hunter. I can't really think of one per se that I really like above all the some other ones. Ooh, that was a big old gust of wind that just came through. Xana. Sorry, guys, I don't mean to yell. Xana, come on, sweetie. It's just our neighbors. They're playing with their dog. I know you want to go outside and play with them too, but you don't know how to play with other dogs yet. You're still learning. She's a pit bull, so she doesn't know her own strength. So sometimes she gets a little too excitable when it comes to that stuff. Okay, so I got this done here with the two little wing pieces. So now we're going to attach them on here. Xana. Xana. So that's pretty neat how these attach on. So they attach on with, when we get the light on it right here properly. So these pinchers here that you see sticking up right here, they attach to this rod that's right here. Let me see if I can get it under the light. There you go. So you can see how it attaches to that rod right there. So you just kind of snap it in like that, and then you pinch them forward till they line up, and there you go. That's how that's done. That's actually pretty neat look, and I think that's pretty cool. And let's see, where does this go? It goes on this side of the warship. Yep. So sorry about the sun in the background. I know it makes it hard to see, but it's what I got right now. It just attaches up just like that. I wish everything attached like that. That's incredible. Let's see if I can get it with my camera here. So yep, it just, so that piece that we built right here, there's the prongs right across. This just pushed in and snapped right into it. No issues at all. Again, you'll see more tomorrow when I do the actual review of it all. but I just wanted to show you guys real quick as I fumble around with my laptop. I don't like doing stuff without being able to show you guys. So I hope it works. And just by doing that, now I realize that I missed stuff on this side real quick. Hold on a second here. Got to put these in. Sorry about this, guys. I just got to snap this in because, it is, again, I skip steps because my brain thinks I did it, but I really didn't. All right, I'm back. Yeah, you still got me stumped on the favorite bounty hunter. Yeah, I'm still thinking about it. I'm trying to think if there's one that I really like above all the others. Oh, man, you really got me stumped on the bounty hunter question. You get second place in the question of the day. First place goes to the Pinchers versus the Fear of the Empire. You come in a close second with stumping me on my favorite bounty hunter. I guess I would have to say I've always liked the story of Jodo Kast as a bounty hunter story. Jodo Kast was a bounty hunter who wore Mandalorian armor, but it was like this blue and yellow color. And he would imitate Boba Fett a lot in order to get bounties and whatnot, even though he really didn't need to. And so I always liked his story a lot, was Jodo Kast. That was one bounty hunter that I liked. So I do kind of like some of the odder stories that are out there. I'm not always a mainline kind of character person. Sometimes I like looking for the good stories with an outlier character. So, that's just me. Main characters are good. Yes, Darth Sidious is great, and he's by far the primary person that I focus on. When it comes to other characters, I like reading about some of the side characters just to kind of see how it goes with that as well. Because they have... the people who did the stories, they did an incredible job of writing backstories for a lot of characters that are out there. Yeah, man, nothing wrong with having Mando being your favorite. Hey, Dan. Yep, Din Djarin. Yep, a lot of people like him. I mean, me personally, I like guns too. And when he said weapons are a part of my religion, that was probably my favorite line from The Mandalorian by far. So that was pretty cool to hear him say that. But yeah, I have to go with Jodo Kast. If I had to say another one that's probably more people would recognize, I always liked Dengar. I thought Dengar was a pretty cool look too. Thoughts on Admiral Thrawn? I actually like the fact that Thrawn is completely different than a lot of other Imperial officers. He's got a different methodology about him. He studies the artwork of his enemies to find clues about their weaknesses. He's very soft-spoken. He runs his warship, the Chimera, out of understanding and learning. He realizes that if you were Vader and you just murdered all of your people all the time and replaced them, sometimes you lose really good people. And Vader was a no-nonsense leader. But the one thing I liked about Thrawn is that instead of punishing people for their mistakes, he would encourage them to learn from them. And so I think having Thrawn being completely different is a good thing. One officer, now, if you ask me, that was another great officer portrayal was, I can't remember the name of him, but the actor who played him was Titus Welliver. He played that Imperial officer in charge of the ship that when he talked to Moff Gideon said, long live the Empire, when Moff Gideon told him, you know what to do. I thought that was an excellent way of handling his soon-to-be death was, taking the pill and crashing his ship and being like, long live the Empire. I thought that was really cool. So, but I think, I definitely dig Thrawn. I really do think that Benedict Cumberbatch is the best person to play Thrawn by far. And hopefully they pick him up for Mandalorian season 3, along with bringing along Ezra Bridger and what happened to them at the end of the Rebels after they jumped the Chimera into warp like that with those sea creatures or whatever you want to call them. I don't remember the name of it, but I think that was a pretty cool setup there. And I just realized I put these pieces on in the wrong spot because it was wrong on the picture. No, wait a minute. I think it was right. Oh, it's because I didn't put the other piece on. Maybe if I paid attention again to what I was doing. Did it again, guys. Forgot about a piece to put on. Got me again. Forgot that piece right there. So, yes, you definitely need to read the Thrawn trilogy. Heir to the Empire, that trilogy, that should have been the sequel trilogy, as those 3 books right there. Because those are just exceptionally well done. And that is the whole key to the expanded universe is that trilogy right there. And so I highly recommend the Heir to the Empire trilogy. Phenomenal books. Timothy Zahn is by far the best Star Wars writer out there, hands down. When I was reading those paperbacks when I was a lot younger, every time I saw that Timothy Zahn did another book, I was just like eating it up because, the way he told the story better than anybody, So, but yeah, I always tell everybody, read Heir to the Empire first, read that trilogy, and then read Shadows of the Empire, because those 4 books right there really set a good foundation for the expanded universe. Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice to get Thrawn into Mandalorian season 3 for sure. He definitely deserves to be there, if you ask me. So, all right, now I got to build the wings to attach to this. So nothing you guys haven't already seen. This is the same thing as I did before with the rails and everything. So now I'm going to build the wing parts. So I swear I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm just staying focused on what I'm doing here. Yeah, but keep throwing questions or whatnot. I'll talk about it all day long. I really hope I do have to say the one EU character I think everybody's really pining to see is Mara Jade. Can they get Mara Jade into Star Wars canon? She definitely deserves to be there. Hopefully they do her right. Hopefully they throw Kathleen Kennedy out of the room when it comes time to do her character development and just look at the books and get Mara Jade in there because she deserves to be in there. Not many people know that Mara Jade was actually in Return of the Jedi. Not in the movie, but they wrote her in the books. She was a dancer named Erica, and she was begging to get on Jabba's sail barge, but Jabba wouldn't let her. And so she never got to stop Luke from catching his lightsaber when R2 ejected it. And so it was in the books. It wasn't in anything else. So, but yeah, Mara Jade definitely deserves to be in there. I'd also love to see if they could write in like Prince Zyzer and Guri and all the other characters you see from Shadows of the Empire. They definitely deserve to get into back into canon as well. So, yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch does an excellent villain. I mean, he was the voice of Smaug in the Battle of Five Armies. Obviously, Doctor Strange. But the way he just delivers his lines like that, I think, is exceptional. And so, yeah, he definitely. I hope they figure out a way to get him in there too. I also think they need to do work on Moff Gideon's character. Moff Gideon was really cool until like the end of the show when he just basically got punked. It was kind of weird. So I thought he would have been a much more tougher villain for them, but maybe they didn't want him to be that way. But Moff Gideon definitely needs some more love per se, or at least more character development. Tell me more about the Night of 1,000 Tears and the raid on Mandalore and all that other good stuff. So... we may be coming to the end here, guys, because I don't know if I have too much to go after this. And so, yeah, it's funny. Your computer corrected it from Benedict Cumberbatch to Battlefield Overwatch. I think that's great. Autocorrect of the day right there. I know what you meant, though. All right, about to snap these onto place here. So there you go. That piece is done now. All nice and wonderfully flushed out. Oh, no, we ain't done yet. Looks like we're snapping the engines on, boys and girls. Finally, we get to put the engines on. So we're going to go ahead and get this piece put on here. Make sure it's lined up properly. It is. Okay. So that's on. All right, let me go get my engines real quick, guys, because they're sitting over here. All right, got them in 2 different cups. All right, now it's time to strap on these bad boys here. All right. Okay, so I'm going to pull my stuff over here real quick so I can get these engines put together before I get going. So, all right, I need to do this 6 times. Okay, I need to do the big engines first. Yeah, there's only 2 small engines. These are pretty monstrous here. So those are the big engines right here compared to the small ones there. So you can see the difference in the size right there. Yeah, I like what you said there about Kathleen Kennedy, the highest window you can find. Yep, absolutely, without a doubt. The problem is that she's been with Lucasfilm since the beginning. Not since the beginning, but she joined Lucasfilm when they did Raiders of the Lost Ark. She was a production assistant at that point, and that's how she started in the company, and she slowly worked her way up. So she's got a ton of seniority in the company, unfortunately. So, hopefully I think the smart thing to do is just don't renew her contract when her contract is up. I think this summer her contract is up with Lucasfilm. And hopefully, because, Disney doesn't like losing money. Mickey Mouse gets his money no matter what. And so I would like to think that they're going to oust her because of all that. So, all right, let's see here. Just trying to see how they have this all snapped on here. Oh, there is 2 on each one. My brain wasn't processing this. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry. Again, my brain's not seeing what it should see. It's only seeing what it wants to see. And I'm like, why is this not adding up? You know, I just was talking about Moff Gideon. Now I have his theme in my head. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't watch Sherlock either. I don't watch too many movies outside of like Star Wars and a few others. So I'm sure he was a good Sherlock, but yeah. All right. Okay. All right, getting ready to attach engines to the warship. It's kind of hard to see with the black on black, but oh, okay. So sorry, I see what I did wrong here. I get these. So the guns the small ones that are pivot up here, again, I'll show this tomorrow so you guys can see it a little bit better. They need to make sure that they're pivoted up and out of the way so the engine can sit on there properly, and then the guns fold down on top of it. Okay, I see how that goes. See, that's what I did wrong there, and that's why they're not seating on there. It's really hard to tell, guys. I'm truly sorry you can't see this the way I see it, but I'll go over it tomorrow about getting the guns in the right spot. That one just does not feel like it's seating on properly at all. No, that one is just... Hi, Micah. Sorry, my son's talking to me real quick, guys.
Can you not go to Flynn's house after we're done on the computers?
I'll talk to you in a little bit, buddy.
Okay.
Micah, come on. Ask not to mess that up again. I don't like you should have that for.
This is kind of strange. One engine mounted flush, but the other ones don't want to mount flush at all. There it is. No, it's still loose on there. Oh, okay. So I see what I did here. Now I know why it doesn't want to mount flush. So the engines See how the star piece is lined up like that? You have to get your two things right up here, and then go from there. And so get rid of it. So now I see why my pieces don't want to line up properly, and like why one did and the others didn't.
Which means you can't be on that. Look at that, so fun.
Oh, come on. Let me try this trick here. Okay. Now I see what's wrong here. Oh man, this is going to be fun. So it's kind of hard to tell, but I have a piece on that's wrong right here. I'm actually going to take a photo of it with my phone, and I'll show you guys tomorrow of what's correct and what isn't correct. Actually, I want to see if my phone will show it. All right, so here's the issue with the engines. This one here is on correctly because the star pieces are to the side, but this one, the star pieces are up and down, which is why it's not mounting up and proper. So I've got to fix that one over there to make it look like this one so it'll mount properly. So I never would have seen that until just now, but that's what I'm trying to fix right now. Hopefully this piece slides off. It does. Whew. Oh. Thankfully, that was a super easy fix. That piece of the engine just slides right off and right back on, and now this should just snap right on into place. Yes, much, much better. Still kind of loose, but in a lot better shape than it was before. Now this one should do just about the same. No, that one. Why is this one so nice and secure? And actually, wait a minute. Now this one's giving me fits too. Okay, now I need to take this apart, guys, because I need to know what I'm up against here. Make sure that this is done right. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Oh, that's bad. Okay. So let me show you what just happened, because I was trying to fix this piece that's down here, and my whole engine assembly just came off and fell to the inside of the destroyer. So now I've got to fish this out. Oh man, this is going to be fun. Man, it came apart like crazy. All right, well, this has turned into a not fun party. Okay. Oh man, this is going to be a nightmare, guys. Let me see something here, because this is going to take a significant amount of time to fix. All right, so here's what I got to do, guys. I have got to get ready to go pick up my daughter in about 20 minutes from work. Plus, I just had a major part fall off of my ship. So I'm going to go ahead and end this now. I'll come back and I'll do a video when I get it on. But like I said, I just had a major part fall off. I've got to fish it out of the warship. Plus, I got to go get my daughter from work. So let's see what we got there. Oh, Battlefield. Yeah, Kennedy is a lot like that. She's been there from the beginning. I mean, she came on at Raiders of the Lost Ark, which was 1982, I think, because Raiders of the Lost Ark came out in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So I believe 1982 is when she got her start. So, or was it 84 after Jedi? I don't know, but that's when she joined Lucasfilm. So she's been there forever. But anyway, guys, I got to go because I got to pick up my daughter. Thanks for watching. I'm going to get this fixed because now I know how bad it is. I know what I need to do to fix it to make it look right. So I'll get this all done and you'll see it in a video tomorrow. So thanks again, everybody, for watching. I will answer your questions all day long. I will do this again next Saturday at 1 o'clock. We'll do another live stream. So next Saturday, 1 o'clock Eastern time. I'll see you guys there. And thanks again for watching.